Hi everybody, I hope you're well. In today's video, I'm back at the amazing TankSpace in the UK, one of my favourite places to shoot, because today I'm going to be doing a shoot underwater. I love doing exciting things like this. I'm going to be shooting the Studio Manager Halo in this tank. And I'm going to be showing you how I edited this photograph into this final image. So, let's crack on. Now, before we get into the video, I should just say that if you follow me and my work, you may actually recognise this tank, because this isn't the first time I've shot here. I did this video with my friend Beth, maybe about 18 months ago now, where I shot Beth in the tank, but on that video I used off-camera speed lights, which I must be honest, it was really difficult, because as you'll see in that video, I couldn't hear Beth, I couldn't speak to her, she couldn't see me. Communication was so difficult. So I probably took about 300 shots of Beth, I would say, and probably got about 5 that I was happy with, because it was so difficult to get the lights in the right position, then get Beth to swim into them. So today I'm going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to be using TankSpace's own video lights to light Halo when she's in the tank, because this video is going to be more about how I edit the image from the raw file all the way through to the final image. I'm going to show you how I do that in both Lightroom and then in Photoshop. So I am cheating a little bit in terms of the shooting of these images. Well, not cheating, I'm just using something a little bit different to what I normally do. So I'll say we're going to be using these really powerful video lights, but the images I'm sure will look really nice, which is the main thing. But I should also just say that I've actually done another shoot here as well, not with the tank, but what TankSpace also have, you'll see behind me here, is this incredible rain machine, which is so much fun to use. I used the rain machine for the first time when I was experimenting with the new MagMod gel. So just wanted to link back to that video in case you want to see that. But yeah, this rain machine is amazing. The website for TankSpace is in the description, and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's like a playground for photographers. I'm so excited for today's shoot. So I just mentioned I'm going to be using video lights for this shoot. Although I do own video lights, I don't really use them very often. I don't know very much about video lights. But Kai at TankSpace has very kindly offered to light this shoot for me. This is what I was sort of picturing, something like this. But wow, Kai, what is this?
So, this doesn't come out particularly often. This is a 2,500 watt panel mic. I've only really used it once for the rain one. It's a bit much for anything other than just enormous full, we do a full set build.
So what sort of thing would you do? Would you shoot at TankSpace where you'd use something like that?
If you did a full set build in the rain machine that involved building a large scale construction that needed the equivalent of sunlight.
Wow.
It's right up in the ceiling. And then we've got probably the biggest light that we'll ever use in the tank itself. This is a 2,000 watt ARRI daylight. This can be a bit much for most applications, but if you're shooting super high speed, this is the sort of thing that you'll need. We're now getting more into the territory of the sort of things that we're going to be using today. This is probably the top end of what I'd use for photography. This is an 1800 watt ARRI. Again, it can be a bit much sometimes, but this is probably my personal favorite. I like the, big impact backlit photos. This is probably my favorite. Moving slightly down, this is Halo's favorites. This is a 300 watt ARRI, and again, we'll still produce beautiful light rays coming through, but it's just a little bit more subtle. And then we use this just for highlights, and this is a 150 ARRI. So together, all of these can be used to create an absolutely fantastic look. We just use to use the right combination of.
That's brilliant. That also, I think, explained why I struggled so much last time with my little speed lights, because this is what we'll be using today. So what's really cool, if you do come here to TankSpace and you want to do a shoot like this, I'd really recommend it, is that Halo, our amazing studio manager, who is also going to be getting in the tank, and she's amazing, as you're going to find out in this video, will give you the option of, you say you've got all this wardrobe over here, yeah. Amazing.
This is basically your own personal Builder Halo experience.
Amazing.
We have a variety of colour-coded fabrics here. We've got some things that are more kind of contemporary. We've got some that are more like painterly, various different colours, different amounts of voluminousness, if that's a word.
I like it.
We've got loads of props and things.
Yeah,
so
look at all this.
Depends on what kind of theme you're wanting to get.
All I think, and I'm going to take Helen's advice on this as well, because Helen knows far more than I do about looks. Yeah.
I'm not really sure I do.
You're wearing a Flashmaster's top. Doesn't get more stylish than that.
It doesn't. we might as well do two completely different things.
That would be
because then we can, like,
amazing.
the best of both worlds. So if we do something contemporary, say like this skirt's a winner. If you
Yeah,
want,
it's very different, isn't it?
It's multi-size, so anyone can wear it, and it's got like strands, so it looks like a big pink jellyfish.
Cool.
All around you. So lots to play with there.
I love it.
You want to get in the tank, don't you?
I love that skirt. I think it's going to be amazing. It's just going to go over it.
Since this one's kind of falling out at me anyway, it's chosen itself.
Perfect.
This is like a more painterly option, so like a more classic Renaissance.
Cool.
vibe.
Yeah, if I could be cheeky then, if we were to try the two,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, amazing. We can do that. If you want any props, let me know.
Cool. For you, in your element.
Honestly, the extra armor feature here is like.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Halo. Yeah, we'll go with that one first then. Thank you.
Okay.
Crazy, we can even see the heat coming off.
And steam.
Yeah, the steam.
I'm literally smoking.
It's lovely. Yeah, you're essentially just in a really nice big bath.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So we've just finished our first shoot with Halo where she was wearing the gold dress, and wow, the images are amazing. As I mentioned earlier, it feels like cheating because what we're seeing in the tank is so beautiful, so graceful. All I'm basically doing, because I've not even done the lighting setup, is pointing my camera at Halo and pressing the shutter. So here are my favourite photographs from this little shoot with the gold dress. What we're going to do now is change Halo's outfit and then take some more images. I can't wait to see what this looks like because this dress looks amazing with just bits coming out all over the place. I'm really excited to see it.
You and I, we never show emotions, we just keep it down, down inside. Yeah, you and I, both longing for expression for the things we like, but we stay quiet. Hold me now, tell me things, tell me all about how you feel. Just let yourself go. Say it loud, wake the world on the other side, make it real. Just let yourself go, just let go.
So we've just finished shoot 2 with Halo, where she was wearing like a pink type ballerina type dress, and it looked amazing. What I loved about this shoot is it was very differently lit by Kai at TankSpace than the first shoot we did, where Halo was wearing the gold dress. So in the gold dress we had a strong video light up from above, casting rays down into the water, which I loved, but with shoot 2, Kai lit the tank with video lights coming in from the sides. So it's a very different look, and I love that. So here are my favourite photographs from shoot 2. And what I'm going to do now is pass you over to me in Lightroom, where I'm going to edit one of my favourite photographs from this shoot. So let's now open Lightroom. This is the image that I've chosen. I really love this one. I just love Halo's face. I think the pose is beautiful. The dress looks amazing. That's the way it's falling in the water. I just really, really like it. So this is the image that I've decided to edit for you. First of all, what I want to do is add on my main preset. Now, I should just say, if you follow me in my work, you'll know that I like my image to be punchy, vibrant, contrasty, and that is what I'm trying to achieve here. So the straight out camera, nothing wrong with it at all, but it's just quite flat, whereas I like my image to be a bit more say, a bit more dynamic. So first of all, I'm going to apply my main preset. I should just say as well, the presets that you see here, the magic masks and the brushes that I use, they are all available to purchase from my website in the form of my Lightroom Preset Pack 3, which is brand new actually. It's new for 2023. I put lots and lots of time and effort into producing these. The value is all in the brushes. So the preset is my starting point, and then I work on selective adjustments using brushes and masks, and that's what I'm so proud of with the latest preset pack. The preset pack also comes with a complete 100-minute tutorial video where you will see me editing from start to finish 40 different photographs, all in Lightroom, so you can see my entire process from beginning to end using the brushes and the presets. So anyway, I'm going to go back to this image. So when I look at this straight out of camera with the preset applied, I quite like it. It's a little bit too warm, so I'm going to do first of all what I call global adjustment, which are basically changing these sliders over here, because these sliders will affect the whole of the image. So I'm going to drop that down, maybe change the tint slightly, push that up a little bit. There, looks nice. Going to just reduce the vibrancy a little bit and the saturation again a little bit, I would say. I'm also going to put the punch up a bit more than I usually would, because I just think that the punch is what's going to make the dress look really, really nice, really contrasty, really highlight the creases in the dress, which in this example I actually really like. So we've got to that point within just a few seconds. The next thing I'm going to do now is what I call selective adjustments, which is where I use masks. In other words, I'm going to make changes now to just particular parts of the photograph, not the whole photograph. So let's click on masks, and I'm going to start by just bringing down the highlight areas, these areas like there, they're just a little bit too bright and contrasty. So I'm going to press K, which is brush. These are the new brushes that are within my preset pack, and save highlights will just allow me to go over these areas and just basically take the sting out of them like this. So they won't be too distracting. Just going to do that there. There we go. I'm going to press K again, which will give me another new fresh mask, as you can see here. And we're going to go over Halo's hand. With this one, I'm just going to drop the temperature a little bit and also reduce the power as well of that. But that looks good now. Next up, I want to really, again, enhance the clarity of the dress, but not Halo's face. So I'm going to make a radial filter. The shortcut for that on a Mac anyway is Shift and M. Let's put everything back down to 0. And when I draw around Halo's face, you will see part of the photograph goes into red. This is showing you that the red area is what will be affected by this new mask. I also have the feather here set relatively high so that the edge of that mask is quite blurry. So in other words, you won't see the edge, which is really good. And now what I'm going to do, I don't want to affect this area. I want to affect everywhere else. So I'm going to click on this box over here, the invert box, which means that now everything that I change in these sliders will affect the area outside of Halo, or Halo's face rather. And I'm going to select one of my brushes called Bokeh. So let's go to the Bokeh brush, and instantly the dress gets really, really punchy. If I just turn the mask on and off, there you see, that's what we've done with the mask so far. I'm also, I think, going to increase the saturation even a little bit more of that. Remember, it's not affecting Halo's face, it's just affecting the area outside. If you press O on the keyboard, you can toggle where that mask is affecting. Next up, I'm just going to just embellish the droplets. Not so much there, because they're quite punchy. I'm going to make this area look a little bit better. So I'm going to press K on the keyboard, which is the shortcut for a new brush. And then I'm going to select my brush called Let It Rain, and then just go over that area there. And again, it's just bringing out the bubbles a little bit more. And lastly, before we go into Photoshop, actually two things I'm going to do. One, when I look at Halo's foot here, it just looks a little bit too cold compared to the rest of the image. So I'm going to press K for a new brush, put everything back down to 0 by clicking on the word effect, paint over Halo's foot, and just warm up her foot slightly, just so it's more in line with the dress. That looks better. Might even just drop the exposure a little bit as well. And very last thing I'm going to do is just drop down the overall exposure of the background, which I can do with one of the magic masks called Lower the Background. So with one click, the background just goes that little bit darker. So we started, if I reset everything there, that's straight out of camera. and we brought it to there within Lightroom very, very quickly. What I'm now going to do is export this image and open it up in Photoshop for some more little tweaks. We are now in Photoshop. This is the edited image, obviously. And over here, I've also just brought through the straight out of camera file as well, so we can compare. Couple of things I want to do here. First of all, this area up here is a bit distracting, so I'm going to get rid of that little line there. So I'm going to do that by, first of all, selecting the patch tool, selecting the area that I don't want, which is there. And with that area selected, I'm going to press delete. That's going to open up this window. Content aware is what I want. I'm going to press OK. And Photoshop will do a really good job of just covering up that area. There's some areas which I might want to change. So if I don't think this bit is the greatest, so I'm going to select there, drag down, and do that. And just by using a combination of those two tools even, yeah, that looks pretty decent now. A bit of a gap there. Let's just do that. Yeah, there we go. So that looks more consistent. In fact, there's a bit of a gap of bubbles there. There we go. Little distracting elements like this, I want to go over with the patch tool again. Press delete, return. I'll get rid of there. And also, I'm going to go into Halo's face a little bit closer and do the same here. Just get rid of these little distracting bubbles over her face. Now, this is going to take a while, so I will fast forward this. I could just keep on doing what I'm doing at the moment using the patch tool. What I'm going to do is instead select Spot Healing Brush Tool, which means I just need to just paint over those little areas of bubbles and it will clean it up. So I'm going to speed this bit up of the video because all I'm going to be doing is going over these bubbles and just selecting them to get rid of them. Okay, so if we go to the history tool here, we can see what we've done. So it's a bit of an arduous process, but it's very simple. It just takes that little bit of time, but it's worthwhile doing. Now, bear in mind, if this was a wedding, I wouldn't go to this much detail. But for photographs like this, where it's more like one-off, unique images that will hopefully make it to my portfolio, I don't mind putting the time in just to make sure that they're as strong as I can make them. Now, the other thing which I'm going to do in Photoshop, I have to be a bit careful with what I want to do now because you can go over the top with it. But I'm going to use the liquify tool to push this area of the dress a bit further out to really embellish like the flowiness of the dress. Let's just delete these little bits here. Again, I'm going to use the Spot Healing Brush just to go over those, just to get rid of them like that. So now what I want to do is go to Filter, Liquify, and then just push those areas of the dress further out. So if you go too far, it will look fake. We can do it there as well. But the more that this dress flows, the just more I think it just looks nice. I could even do a little bit over here as well. Just trying to fill the frame, really. It was that. In fact, I probably have gone a bit too far over there. Let's just have a look. No, we can probably get away with it. But the more you do, the faker it will look. So just be careful. I think that's actually really nice. And then lastly, just to finish, I'm just going to go to the Burn tool, select Shadows. Let's go to 20% with the opacity and just bring this area down as well a little bit. Almost like a natural vignette. Yeah, I really like that. So there we go. We've gone from here to here. And it's very simple as well with the tools that we've used in Lightroom and then just making that little tweaks in Photoshop, we can end up with a really, really effective photograph. So just before we finish this video, here are some of my favorite shots from this shoot. And I'd like to say again, a massive, massive thank you to Halo and Kai at TankSpace. You were both amazing and thank you so much for all of your help on this shoot. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you also to my partner Helen for filming lots of the behind the scenes of this video, and also to my friend Paul Flanagan for also filming lots of the behind the scenes of Halo in the tank for me. I really, really appreciate it. So as always, if you have any questions at all about anything I've done in this video, please do let me know in the comments. Thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you next time.